Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Kosi, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to cut and sew this beautiful gathered gown with body down shirt and shirt collar. It does sound like something you're interested to learn. Keep on watching and let's get started. So guys, what I have here is 2 yards of Ankara fabric. What I'm going to do is to turn the wrong side of the fabric, then I'll fold into 4. I want to first cut the gathers, okay? So after folding, this was what I had. You can see what I have here. Next thing I want to do is to place my tape. Then the length of this gown is 28 inch. I added extra 1.5 inch to make it 29. The half length is 11 inch, okay? So I'm going to mark the 11 inch here. I'll make a straight line with it. After marking, I'll cut it out, okay? Just like this. So after cutting, guys, this was what I had. Next thing I want to do is to cut the half length. So I marked a straight line here because I'll be cutting this from here. The half length was 11 inch. I added extra 1 inch to make it 12 inch, okay? This is for the allowance. So I'll just mark. After making a straight line, I'll mark half of her shoulder circumference, and I will come down here by 6.5 inch for the armhole depth. I'll also mark half of the shoulder circumference here and connect the point. I came down by half an inch for shoulder slope. Then I marked 2.5 inch for her neck width. Okay, I also marked 1.5 inch for the back neck depth. So I made the shoulder slope. I just connected it this way, and I also curved the armhole. Next, I'll mark quarter of her bust circumference, then add 1.5 inch for seam allowance. On the waist, I'm going to mark quarter of her waist circumference and add 1.5 inch for seam allowance. After marking, I'll cut it out. So this is the back piece. After cutting the back piece, I'll fold another fabric, then cut the front piece, okay? The front has a button on it, so because of that, I marked 1 inch for the allowance. This is where I'm going to be attaching or placing the button, okay? So that's why I'm marking this 1 inch. After marking the 1 inch, I'll place the back piece, then cut the rest of the part off. After cutting, the next thing I want to do is to come down by 2.5 inch for the front neck depth. Then I also spot out the neck width, then cut it out, okay, just like this. Then also slash the center front and make a notch as well. So after doing this, I'm going to cut the lining for the front and back piece, and I also label as front and back, okay? So guys, I've gone ahead to cut the lining, as you can see. So I'll open the fabric and place the lining right side facing each other. I'll stitch the both armhole, then both sides, then turn it outside right, and I'll do the same thing for the front piece as well. You place your lining right side facing each other, stitch the armhole area and both sides. Do the same thing for the other side as well. Do not stitch the neckline, okay? So after stitching the lining or sewing my lining, you can see what I have here. I just made a top stitch at the neckline after turning outside right. And please, when stitching your armhole, also don't forget to make a notch on all the armholes, okay, so to relax very well. Next, place your front piece on the back piece right side facing each other, then stitch the shoulder area with half an inch. After stitching the shoulders with half an inch, you can see what I have here. The next thing I want to do is to pin down the 1 inch I have at the front piece. After pinning, guys, this was what I had. Next thing I want to do is to arrange this piece, then I'll go ahead and shape. So you're going to divide your daughter's or your client's bust circumference by 2, mark it and divide whatever you have left, and also mark. Do the same thing for the waistline, just like you see me doing here. After connecting those points, I am going to place them this way and also do the same thing I have on the other side. Go ahead and shape, okay? After shaping, guys, you can see what I have here. Next thing I want to do is to unpin my pins. Like, I will remove my pins. Then after removing, I'm going to add the remaining length, that is the gathers. Okay, so this is the piece I already cut in the beginning of this video for the gathers. So what I'm going to do is to first fold with 1 inch. They're going to fold in about 1/4 inch and make a stitch. Do the same thing for the other side as well. So after sewing the both sides, you can see what I have here. So that is where I will be attaching the button. So I'm going to make a gather stitch at the upper part. After making my gather stitch, I'll pull out one of the threads and gather the fabric. Okay, I will repeat the same thing on the other side. So go ahead and gather yours. Just do this carefully so your thread won't cut. After gathering, you can see what I have here. Okay, so you can also notice there is no gather stitch on that part I sewed. Can you see? That's because your button will be laid there. Okay, so that is the reason why you are not supposed to have any gathers on that particular area. You get? So the next thing I want to do is to attach the half length. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm going to sew this with 1/2 inch. Okay, after sewing, guys, you can see what I have here. This is the wrong side of the fabric. You can see what I have, and this is the front side. Next thing I want to do is to take the measurement I have on that neckline. So the total number I have there is just 15.5 inch. So I already went ahead to cut out this small piece. So I have 15.5 plus 1 inch, that making it 16.5 inch. I have the same length on the other side. So I'm going to stitch the both side with 1/2 inch. Then from that 1/2 inch, I'll come in by 3/4 inch. It's not up to 1 inch. Then I'll also make the same mark here and stitch with 1/2 inch. Also add my curve as well. Okay, so this is the cape. I want to make the cape for the neckline. So after stitching, guys, I'll turn the right side so you see what I have. So this was what I had after I was done turning. So I'll measure what I have there. From that point to the other point, I have 14 inch. So what I'm going to do is to cut out this small piece. The smaller piece, the wideness was 1.5 inch, and this other one, the wideness is 2 inch. So remember, I had 14 inch left on the other side, so I marked 7 inch, that's half of it, and I also added extra 1 inch. Then I had to curve from that 1 inch to the 7 inch I marked. You get? Just make it slanted. It's not supposed to be straight. This was what I had after I was done. So I'm going to stitch the both side with 1/2 inch. After stitching the both side, I'll turn it the right side just like this. Then I'll turn the smaller piece the wrong side. So what I'm going to do is to insert the bigger piece on the smaller piece. Okay, I'm going to insert the both edge on the both edge of the smaller piece. Do you get? If you don't understand what I'm saying, please watch what I'm doing so you understand. Stitch with 1/2 inch after you have done. So after stitching, guys, you can see what I have here for the cape. So what I'm going to do is, from the wrong side of the dress, I'm going to open the cape. Then I'm going to stitch with 1/2 inch. Okay, after stitching with 1/2 inch, you can see what I have here. This is what the wrong side looks like. So what I'm going to do is to turn the right side, and I'm going to flip in the sewing part and fold in 1/4 inch. You will fold 1/4 inch inside and make a top stitch. Okay, so after folding this way, go ahead and make your top stitch. After making my top stitch, guys, you can see what I have here. Next, from that line I sewed, I'm going to use that same wideness to make a stitch. Okay, I'll repeat the same process on this other side. After marking, I'll resew, do the same thing on the other side, then attach my button and also make my buttonholes as well. So on the down part, I already sewed the down part, and the front also has slit. So for the slit, I came up by 8 inch. Okay, you can make your 7 inch. It depends on the height you are working for. So I'm just going to attach the button, make my buttons hole. So guys, this was what I had after it's done. I decided to make use of this fancy button. You can use the one on the thumbnail. It depends on what you want. That one doesn't last, but this lasts very longer. And this is the slit I had at the downside. That's the collar. You can see how beautiful everything look. So guys, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. If you love this video, kindly hit on subscribe button and notification bell so you always be notified anytime I upload new video. You can also add elastic to the waistline if you want. Bye.